In today's show, I'm going to break down this folding smartphone. Why should you care about it? Is it going to be the next hot thing or not? So stay tuned while I break this down for you. CES 2019 and all the hype is pretty much surrounding around these foldable phones. Well, let's go ahead and talk about this for a second. For me, I actually look forward to seeing where this technology can go. It actually fills a void that people have. They want a display or a tablet on the go, but the problem is tablets are too big. You gotta haul it around. It's not quite as portable for everybody, especially if you're not always trying to walk around with a backpack on you to keep up with your tablet. Phones are perfect, especially now as far as being portable. The displays now are much larger, and for most media consumption, it does what it needs to do. But when you're at an airport, on a plane, you're trying to knock out some cardio, yeah, you sometimes may want the tablet, especially for catching up on something like ESPN or some movies. And that's where we look for our tablets for. But again, we talk about the portability of it. And then you got to also look at the other issues that, if we say issues, but challenges you have, such as apps that work for your phone that may not quite work for your tablet, and vice versa. As this is something that's pretty much plagued Android for a while. So when you look at CES, you see Royal roll out with this device here that's a tablet, and then they fold it in half, and it's kind of a half a tablet, which they're calling a phone. I mean, you don't look at that like, okay, this is the device I'm going to buy, but you say, man, if someone like Samsung or Apple are able to find a way to take that and make it to where people want to buy it, that's going to intrigue my interest. I want to back up for a minute though and talk about kind of how we got here, what kind of brought us here, and then kind of look at where we're at and then think about where we're going. So let's go ahead and back up, like I said, and look at years ago when you started seeing patents out there for Samsung and a couple other companies for the foldable phone. Then back in 2016, which I want to give credit to Tech Radar, as they're the one who I'm actually pulling this article from, talking about Samsung looking to be the first to break out the foldable phone by 2017. Now, this was written by James Peckham back in May of 2016. And the talk was about Project Volley. And it was the fact that we may see the Galaxy X as the rumored Samsung foldable phone. Now, we know that didn't quite make its way, but we did see something come of that foldable display, the flexible display that Samsung has been working on. In fact, MKHB, which I will link his video below, talked about how it was used in the latest iPhone X. But let's move forward to the Android developer blog. I'm bringing this up because they talked about seeing where the technology is going with foldable phones and wanting to make sure apps will work fine on it. So Google is actually working on making Android compatible with foldable displays. So by the time we start seeing these phones come out here, your apps and everything will work smoothly on it. And this was last year, November. Not too long after that, we saw Samsung break out. In fact, let me correct myself. Samsung actually broke out their foldable phone on November 7th at their Samsung Developers Conference. That's where they showed off that this tablet can be folded into a phone. And then 2 days after that, that's when Google talked about their software being ready for it. So we knew that this was on the horizon. And we're here. Now, I'm personally not quite, sure where we really going to go with this. The challenges we're going to deal with, especially when it first get out there. I mean, I'm looking at the Royal phone, and obviously I'm worried about the issues with stress cracks from bending and folding the device over and over again. What's it going to do with the battery life? How long it's going to last? And then again, you got to look at the materials used going to be plastic. And for the most part, we're all enjoying having glass displays. Are we really going to be ready to go back to a plastic display? Which means possible damage when in a pocket with your keys, unless you put a screen protector on it. These are some of the things that we're going to look at. But I'll tell you what, out of all the companies I'm excited about, it's Samsung. And I was reading on Android Police, and they wrote an article saying that Samsung may be bringing out their foldable display or foldable phone for their February Unpacked event on February 20th. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm excited about it, seeing where we go with it. Because out of all the manufacturers out there, I like to see what Samsung do with it. Because I believe Samsung can do a lot with really making it to where it needs to be, or where it can be. And they have a track record for that. Remember where we are with phones now. Back when the Note 1 came out, they took a lot of slack for being this phone with a large display, and no one wanted a phone like that. And here we are now. Pretty much a lot of people have, or matter of fact, a lot of phones are pretty much that size display. In fact, it's become the standard, where the smaller displays are hard to find. And we saw them attempt their Edge display, which later developed into displays that were curved. And finally to the phones we have now, where you got this infinity display, where you have very little bezels on the side so that you can enjoy your media and not have the phone get in the way. We're seeing more companies roll that out. Yeah, I'm encouraged to see that Samsung is taking this, and I want to see what they do with it. I don't think the first year or even the second year is going to be ready for the main consumer. It's going to take some time to continue to develop it, to fix it to where it needs to be. But at the end of the day, I see this being a niche device. I don't think we'll ever get it to the point where it'd be a mainstream. I don't think we're going to start seeing like the Note, where every phone became large like it, where it's pretty much standard now that every phone has a display that is close to around 5.7 to 6 inch. I don't think we're going to see that with foldable phones, where almost every phone out there is foldable. No. I think you're going to have this phone sit right there for those that want a tablet. In fact, I think this is going to be one of those things where instead of it replacing a phone, it replaces a tablet. We start seeing more tablets being this way. That way they're more portable and still have the ability to make phone calls if someone chooses to use it. That's where I see where this is going. But I actually want to hear what you guys think. Do you think these foldable phones are actually going to be mainstream? Going to be the new standard for smartphones? Or the new standard for tablets? Or is this going to be one of those things where, like the 3D phone, where it was brought out at CES, it got a lot of hype, but it went away quick? Leave your comments below on what you think. This is PC747. I'm out.
Thank you again for watching my video. Hit the like button below if you like it, and if you don't, feel free to hit the dislike button and write in the comments on ways I can improve.